Hello, hello, everyone. Let me make sure that I am in all the places. This is a different platform here. I'm actually on my Educating Youth Services page, and I want to make sure that I am in all of the places. So I'm going to check that while I invite everyone on. Let's see. I am live on my Fearlessly Unique page. Let me double check that. I thought I was. Nope, I'm not. So I have to share it over. I'm going to share over my live to Fearlessly Unique because it's not there. So let me do that. And for those of you who don't know what my Fearlessly Unique page is, it is my crafting page, but I have a following over there too. So I like to share with them as well. Doesn't look like I'm going to be able to do that, so I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to just go ahead and get started. I am going to share my newly published book. So I actually have been waiting for this. It was published last week, but I had to wait for the copy to come in. So I am going to, just one moment, I'm going to try one more thing to make sure that I can, that I am sharing this over. So perfect. I found it. I'm sharing it. I think I'm sharing it. Oh my goodness. There. I don't know what's going on with the internet, but the internet is just not acting right today. So anyway, I'm on to share my newly published book. I haven't opened it yet. It's in the packaging. It's all boxed up. So I'm going to be opening that. But before I do it, I want to kind of talk a little bit about the I think the book that kind of spurred my writing a parent guide. And that's this little book right here. It's called Stacy Phipps Faces Her Fears the Hero Way. And I basically created my parent guide in response to this little book right here, because the little girl in the story actually has, I call them big emotions. She has a lot of anxiety. And she has anxiety about making friends. She has anxiety about taking tests, going to new places. And she has anxiety about, I think, just about a little bit of everything because it's unknown to her. And so I thought about how the parents were interacting with her in the story. And not only that, I also looked at the fact that the clients that I service in my practice, their parents also have to deal with their children's big emotions. So I figured, well, I want to talk a little bit about not only what happened in the story with Stacy and the parents and what they went through. I want to also talk a little bit about the importance of recognizing that parents, not only do children, but parents also go through and experience big emotions. They have emotional responses as well when their children are going through their own emotional experiences. So I said that I think the best thing to do is to write a follow-up book that kind of guides parents through the process of being aware of how they're responding and reflecting, taking pauses so that they can be more reflective of how they're interacting with their children, and then circling back to make a connection so that they can both, not only the parent but the child, can both work through the emotions that they're struggling with. Okay, so let's just open this. I'm going to open it. And I do apologize about all the technical difficulties that I was experiencing. I had originally set this up on StreamYard, and it just was glitching. The internet was glitching, so I decided I'm not doing that. So here it is. Here is my new guide. It's called The Reflective Parent, A Guided Journey to Understanding Your Parenting Patterns and the Power of Connection. I think that Ingram Spark did a beautiful job of creating this guide. And the back says, in the busyness of everyday life, we often focus on our child's behavior and overlook what's happening beneath the surface in them and in ourselves. The reflective parent invites you to slow down, notice your patterns, and nurture the connection that shapes your family. Through 5 relatable parenting profiles, heartfelt stories, and guided reflections, this interactive guide helps you understand your child's emotional needs and create a calmer, more connected home. You'll learn to recognize the strengths and challenges in your parenting style, notice emotional triggers that disrupt calm and connection, respond with awareness and compassion instead of reactivity, foster trust, resilience, and emotional safety every day. And this guide is created for parents, caregivers, educators, and professionals. The reflective parent offers a gentle, practical path toward mindful parenting, one grounded in understanding, not control. Okay, so that's kind of what this is, and I'm going to hold up the title just in case you want to get your copy of it. And I do apologize. The writing is backwards, but it's called The Reflective Parent, and it's written by Dr. Simone A. Phillips. So you can definitely, look for it and get it on Barnes & Noble, get it on Amazon if you would like. Okay. So, and then it just kind of takes you through the different parenting profiles. It talks about relatable stories of children maybe having troubles in stores. If they hear the word no, they start to tantrum and have difficulty regulating themselves. It kind of walks you through the different profiles themselves. There are 5 different profiles: the comfort keeper, the problem solver, the rule keeper, the sensitive supporter, and the curious learner. And then there's a quiz in the book. You would actually take the quiz to find out what your parenting profile is. And there are 20 questions in the book itself. You can tally the responses, and you'll either be one of 5 profiles. Again, like I said, comfort keeper, problem solver, rule keeper, sensitive supporter, and curious learner. But then there can also be instances where you might tie, right? Like you might end up being a comfort keeper or a curious learner or something like that. Okay, so you can at times be more than one particular profile or exhibit more than one particular profile. Okay, so, and then it talks and it kind of walks you through understanding your profile. It relates what I've done here. Sorry, someone was trying to call me. It relates what I've done here in this reflective parent guide. It relates to the classic parenting styles that have been introduced in the past and how they are connected to those classic parenting styles. And then it kind of breaks down each of the the profiles so that you can understand them a little bit better, okay? And then again, like I said, the book takes you through different activities, specifically through different scenarios where a child may have some difficulty struggling emotionally, and what what each of the profiles would look like in their response to that particular child. And then it offers you opportunities to reflect and become more aware of what's happening as your particular profile goes through the different changes in dealing with the behaviors and emotions that the child exhibits. And then finally, let's see. There is a section that takes you through reflecting and growing. So kind of looking back at your profile and then moving forward, knowing what your profile is, how will you move differently as far as becoming aware of how your profile might be interfering or affecting, right? Those emotions and behaviors that you exhibit, how they may be affecting your own child. And then coming up with various tools and activities and suggestions that will help you to be more reflective and make changes in how you're interacting with your child. So I mean, the book is 54 pages long. And again, it just takes you through different activities that you can do to be more aware and notice how you're interacting with your child, just so that the patterns and the behaviors that you exhibit don't limit or restrict the connection that's important that you make with your own child. Okay? So thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this important announcement and watch me as I unpack this new guide. Again, it's called The Reflective Parent, and you can find it anywhere that books are sold. Alrighty? Thank you, and have a good evening. Bye.